and let's get ready. You're welcome, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the session. Tonight, we'll be talking about LinkedIn advertising. That's our topic for this evening. LinkedIn advertising on LinkedIn. But first, just a quick recap, just for us to go very deep into it. We started this session sometime last year, I think sometime in October or so. Let me just go to my LinkedIn account. To start this session sometime in October, and we have looked at quite a number of things. Our first session was focused, and I'm going through this recap so that we can have an idea of our progression. Let me share my screen so we can have an idea of our progression. Our first session, all right, was focused on creating a professional LinkedIn profile. All right, creating a professional LinkedIn profile. I believe you can see my screen now. So this is, for example, what my profile looks like. And I explained this last time, how every one of you can have and should have a profile on LinkedIn that speaks to your professionalism. And by that, I mean your profile should represent you as a kind of person that someone can do business with, business that involves millions upon millions of naira, or, if you're converting to dollars, thousands of dollars, right? So this is, for example, what my profile looks like. So I talked about, I talked about the name. I talked about the headline. This content here is called the headline. I also explained why it's important to put some certain keywords in your profile headline. That was like the first session we had. And I explained some of those keywords. We did an example. If we're not in those sessions, you may want to speak with the team at iStone to know how you can maybe get a replay or something. So we'll talk about how keywords help you in your profile headline, how they're significant to even help with your searchability and your visibility on LinkedIn. I also went ahead to talk about things around, education, things around like experience, just some very important things that should be on your profile for you to have what is called a professional profile. So for example, I have my profile that I'm a coach for the Sonia Lumelu Foundation, which is one of the things that I do. I'm also a volunteer with the Global Shapers community, which is a global platform in different parts of the world. And I have other volunteering experiences too, in terms of Faith Foundation and also TED conferences. So some of those things are on my profile, and they're called credibility indicators. Okay, credibility indicators. Also, things like licenses and certifications, things like your educational background, some of the places you've been to. Those are credibility indicators, and they help you to become more believable and to have more of an authority figure. So that was the focus for that very first session. But then beyond that, we went ahead and talked about connections. That was the second thing. So after you have a profile that is professional, the next thing you want to do is to make sure that you connect with other people on LinkedIn, right? That was the second focus of the second session. So we talk about network. So if I go to my network here, I just click on my network. So you would see connections. Now, under connections, I explained that there are different degrees of connection. So there's what is called the first degree of connection, there's a second degree, and then there's a third degree when it comes to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn allows you to have to see different degrees of connection. Now, if someone is connected to you directly, that means person is directly connected to you. That person is a first degree connection. So if I clicked on, for example, the founder of Social Under, if I click on his profile, Victor Bella, you'll see this sign here that says first. I don't know if you can see it. Let me just highlight it. So it's very close to his name. You would see is the lettering that says first. This shows that Victor Bella is a first degree connection to me. Why? Because we are directly connected. That's why it's a first degree connection. So people that are directly connected to you, they are first degree connections. If you notice by the right of Victor Bella, you see this person, Ekene Okeke. If you notice just by the side of him, you would see what? Second. That shows that Ekene is a second degree connection. That means he's not connected to me directly, but he's connected to someone that is connected to me. That's what second degree means, like I explained that day. So he's connected to someone that's connected to me. That's a second degree connection. Then third degree connections are people that are connected to someone that is connected to someone that's connected to. So this person, for example, Brandon, is a third degree connection. You can see third by his side. So Brandon is not connected to me directly, and Brandon is not connected to someone that is connected to me directly, but he's in the third level. That means he's connected to someone that is connected to someone that is connected to me. So this is what degree connections mean. And I explained the significance of this and why you should be very intentional about the people that you have a first degree connection with on LinkedIn. And that's because when people want to an extent, look out for opportunities or connect you with opportunities, there are some levels of connection you have with someone that to a large extent adds to your credibility. In fact, there are some HR professionals, HR means human resources. There are some HR professionals on LinkedIn that when they want to make a recruitment, they start by trying to recruit within their network. And by that, I mean within not their network as per the people they have on their phone contact list, but their LinkedIn network. So they put out a post that tries to hire someone that is within that network. Let's even look at it as an example. So if you want to type the word, now this is not a, I'm not training LinkedIn for job search. That's a class on its own, right? But I'm just using it as an example. This is LinkedIn for realtors. But I'm just showing you the importance of being intentional about your degrees of connection. So if I type something like, hiring, marketing, let me just use digital marketer, right? Since it's quite popular. Hiring digital marketer. Now, if I click on search here, a number of results will come out, but there's a kind of result that I want. I want results from people that made a post. So I'm going to filter and click on posts here. All right, so I'm going to click on posts. If I click on posts, what happens is that they show me results from people that actually made a post. So if you notice, this person is most likely a recruiter, and he's saying that we're trying to hire this person. We're trying to hire some of these people, and this is what we want, right? People that are hiring, HR people that are hiring, they would first want to share within their networks. All right. So if I search this by date posted and say I want to see all the content that was posted within the last 1 week, I would see all the job postings that are within the last 1 week. For example, you can now see that Accenture is hiring a digital marketing associate, most likely for campaign management. Now, this is a role that I would not have seen, except that this person that is a second degree connection to me made this post, or this person that is a third degree connection to me made this post. So that's why this kind of results are important. There's a priority given, okay, to people that have a level of connection to you before people that do not. So you want to make sure that you fill your connection list with people that, to an extent, are sharing things that are relevant. And I explained how to build your network. I talked about how to search for other realtors. I talked about how to search for people that are potential clients, okay? And some of those things, all right? But very quickly, we went ahead and we started talking about content. So we had 2 sessions on content. So we had content 1 and content 2, how to create content for realtors on LinkedIn. That was the next thing we talked about. And just to be very fast, we explained a lot of things on that content, but I won't go deep into that. What you are focusing on today as a progression. So now you have your profile, now you have some connections, now you start creating content. And it's good to follow this progression, because if you just go to advertise, if you just go and start making ads, you don't have a professional profile, you don't have good connections, you don't have any content, and you just go to advertising, you may not get very good results. So that's why I started by going through it step by step. These are the steps you need to take for you to get to where I am at the moment, which is advertising. So for advertising, the first thing you need to know is that you have customers on LinkedIn. It's important you have this understanding, because it helps you to target and it helps you to, to put in marketing budget when it comes to advertising. So your customers are actually on LinkedIn. But I will start tonight by talking about the things you need to advertise on LinkedIn. So the assets you need to advertise on LinkedIn. That's what I'll be starting with tonight. The assets you need to advertise on LinkedIn. There are a couple of them, and I'll just make that list so that we can start getting ready for actual LinkedIn advertising. So what are the assets you need to advertise on LinkedIn? For you to be able to advertise on LinkedIn, you need a LinkedIn business page. It's important that you have a LinkedIn business page. So if you notice, right, you see by the top right corner of my screen, you see for business. Can you see that? So by the top right corner of my screen, you'll see for business. Now, under for business, one of the options you see here is create a company page. That's one of the options you see here. Create a company page. Now, this company page can be your name. It can have you can have your name, all right? Just the same way. I know those of you that are familiar with Facebook here, all right? You can have a business, but you need a page for your business. That's the same way that although you have a LinkedIn profile, for you to run ads, you cannot just come here and say, I want to boost a post, or you made a post on LinkedIn. Let me go to my profile, for example. Although I think Facebook allows that now, but for LinkedIn, if I go to my activity, which will show me my posts, these are my posts, for example, right? I'm just trying to show you something. So these are some of the posts that I've made. So I cannot just directly come here and say, I want to boost this post. I want this post to reach more people. So what do? I want to boost it. No, there's no option to directly boost a post from a profile, right? So this, for example, it's when I was one of the facilitators for the MTN Foundation ICT and Business Skills Training. So this was the MTN headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria, that I was invited to facilitate a session on digital marketing for people in different parts of Nigeria. So we had a virtual studio. Now, if I want more people to see this post and I want to boost it, there's no direct option here for me to boost it. What do I need to do? I need to first have a page, a business page. So the first assets that you need for you to start advertising is your LinkedIn business page or a company page for LinkedIn. How do you create that? You click on for business at the top right corner of your screen. You click on for business, okay? And then you scroll down and you see this final option that says create a company page. Can you see that? Create a company page. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click on create a company page here, and you would see different options for creating a company page. So to a large extent, they separate these pages because each of these kind of pages has some sort of deliberate features that have been given to it. So we have company, we have a showcase page. A showcase page is like if you have a mother company and then you have let's say smaller expressions of that mother company. Let's say you have, for example, MTN is a major company, but then under MTN there's MTN Foundation. All right, there's MTN Foundation under MTN, right? Another example is McKinsey. So McKinsey is a major company. Under McKinsey, we have what is called the McKinsey Forward. McKinsey Forward program is a program that was done for Africa. So if you want to create a page for McKinsey Forward, it can be created as a showcase page. I don't know if that's clear enough. So I'll explain each of these things. A company page is the major company. It can be a small business, it can be a medium enterprise, it can be a large business. But a showcase page is a page that is like a sub page of a major company. So before you can even create a showcase page, you must have like a major page. And I gave some examples of MTN. MTN has several expressions. I also gave examples of McKinsey. McKinsey has the McKinsey company, and it also has like McKinsey Forward program. It has some other expression for McKinsey. If I search for McKinsey here, for example, let me just do that. So can you see? So McKinsey Africa is a page that is related to McKinsey and Company. Are you following? So that is an example of a showcase page. Let me see if I can get an example within Nigeria, for example. There are a couple of examples that we could use of pages that have a major company and then showcase pages. I've already used MTN. I'm trying to see if there's another one that I can use. But I'm sure that there are quite a number of it if I search for it, right? But there's no one coming to mind at the moment. But you get the idea of a showcase page. So there's a main company, and then that company may have different expressions or different branches or different units that need to occur on their own. I think someone is sending me, yeah, exactly. So Dangote, for example, if they have like a very good presence on LinkedIn, let me just use that example that Adegoke gave. So we have Dangote, for example. So Dangote Industries is a major page. But if you notice, there are some other pages here. Can you see Dangote Cement? Dangote Cement is a page that is related to this page, right? And if I try to express this a bit more, let me just, and thank you for that example, Adegoke, right? So if I try to open this a bit more, so you see Dangote Cement PLC is a page that is, on its own, but it is to a large extent under the Dangote company pages. Let me scroll this. Let me just scroll this by the side. And it's kind of similar because if you look by the side, you see some of these other pages that have like followers and things like that. If I was on my pro version, I think my pro version expired not too long ago. I was on pro throughout last year, but I'll need to renew that. But if I was on my pro version, you'll see some other information about this that to a large extent associates it with the main Dangote page, right? So this is like a perfect example. But now let me go back. I was just trying to explain what each of those types of pages mean. So let me just go back there. And I was trying to talk about the fact that you need to have a page. So what do you do? For you, you want to create a page for a company. So you're going to click on company, and then you put in the name of your organization. So let's say you want to use your own name, or you have an organization that you own, or a real estate, a realtor agency that you are affiliated with, right? You can actually put in the name of your organization. Let's say your organization is Steven, for example, which is my name. I'll just put that as an example here. So I'll just put Steven. If you have a website, this is not compulsory, but if you have a website, you can put in a link to your website here. It's not compulsory, all right? But I'll just go ahead and put my website, fiststeven.com. Website is under construction, actually, so I'm trying to rebrand it for the new year. But I'll just put this as an example, right? For industry, I'm going to search for real estate. So I'll just click on real estate as industry. For organizational size, let me just put, for example, 11 to 50, or let me say 2 to 10 employees. Let's say it's a small company. Organization type, it's a private company, for example. Or if it's just you, you can use sole proprietorship, right? If it's your personal page, personal company page you're trying to create, you can use sole proprietorship, you can use what's it called, self-employed, or you can use privately held if you actually have a registered privately held company. All right, so let me just use sole proprietorship for example here. If you have a logo, you can put your logo here. If you have a tagline, your tagline is just a brief description of what your company does. That is your tagline. Your tagline is a brief description of what your company does. That is what your tagline is. So you can put something there as a tagline, and you can click on this place that says, I verify that I am an authorized representative of this organization. So it just, to a large extent, shows that you are someone that is authorized by the organization to create this page. And if that's the case, you can then go ahead and click on create page. Okay, so you click on create page. Now, as this page is created, let me just allow this to create. So it's setting up at the moment. I think it's loading. So now this page is created. You can put in some more details. So currently I'm not focused. This session is not really focused on creating a page, although we can do that in a minute. But let me just show you some essential details you need to add to your page. So first, it's important you add a short description, maybe something that just talks about what you do. For example, I can add we sell the best properties in Lagos. I can just add safe, secure, get your documentation on time, for example. Just some things that just makes people want to say, okay, who is this person? All right. So this is an example of a description. We have a limit of 2,000 characters, so you can make your description way longer than this. I'm just showing you an example. So this is an example of a description, and then you can click on save. Okay, so I'll just click on save there, and I'll cancel this. So that's one thing that you can add. You can add a description. Another thing you need to add is a logo. A logo just helps you to be more identifiable. So if you have a logo either for yourself or for your business, if you're a personal brand, you can put your picture there, all right? You put it as your page logo. And then location. Location helps you with targeting. So if you're based somewhere, you can put your location here. For example, I can put, for example, Lagos, right? I can say Nigeria, and my location does not have a street address. I'll just put Lagos here. All right. State is still Lagos. All right. And click on save. So this then becomes my location. I'm starting by showing you how you can create a page so that you can run ads. A page is the first thing you need. It's the first asset you need before you can run your ads, right? So, you can decide to follow some other pages, but this is not compulsory for you to start running ads, right? It's not compulsory. So now you have a page that you own. This is the first asset you need before you start running ads. Your page, your what's it called? Your LinkedIn business page. Now, if you have created your LinkedIn business page, the next thing you need to have an understanding of before you start running your ad is the kind of campaign you want to run. And by that, I'll talk about some of the essentials. I know that a lot of you are waiting for me to just go straight into the ads manager and just show you what to do. But these are the things that make sure ads are successful. I'm running a couple of ads. Even at the moment, there's an ad I'm running for an organization on LinkedIn. And one of the first things I look at when I want to take up a project when it comes to LinkedIn ads is what is the goal? Because there are some goals you have as an organization that sometimes the best platform to use may not even be LinkedIn. And as a consultant, I first have to advise you and say, okay, based on this goal you have, I do not think that LinkedIn is the best place for you to use. But based on this other goal, yes, LinkedIn is a great place for you to use. Why? Because there are people that are on LinkedIn, but people on LinkedIn, they come there or they come there for some certain kinds of purposes. So yes, you can get results, but because of the constraints of budget, you want to be sure that you're putting your budget in the best place. And sometimes LinkedIn is that best place, okay? So after clarifying your business page, I want to assume that you now have a business page. The next thing is, what is the goal for this campaign? Do you want to sell a property? Do you want to generate leads? Do you want to invite people to a webinar, for a conference, for an event, for an online event or an offline event? What is your goal for this campaign? That's the second thing you have to be clear about. All right. What is your goal for this advertising that you want to do? Really, really important. Now, the third thing, so that I can be a bit faster, I want us to at least open the Ads Manager today before we end this session. But the third thing that is important that you are clear about is, who is your target audience? Your target audience is simply, who are the type of people that is most optimal, all right, for this goal that you want to achieve. And your target audience, it does not mean that other people will not buy. This is important. The fact that you have a target audience does not mean that other people will not buy your product or your service, or other people will not see your ad. No. The target audience just helps optimize the campaign for the most relevant people that you want to reach. All right, so target audience is important. And by target audience, what are the things you need to look at? You need to look at, for example, their age range. What is the age range of your target audience? Does it start from 20? Does it start from 25? If you have a property in an underdeveloped area, or in a place that is just emerging, and let's say the range of the amount is starting from, say, 500K initial deposit or 1 million initial deposit. Yes, there are people that are maybe 20, 25 that can afford that, depending on. So there are people that are able to work in very remarkable places, either remotely or physically, that are able to afford that even from as low as 25 years. And then there are some other types of properties that you want to start from maybe 30 years. You want to start from 25 years and above, or 30 years and above, or 35 and above. Not because there are people that are less than that can't afford it, no, but because you are expecting, based on what you're selling, that the people that can afford this the most are those that are within this age range, right? So age is one way to define your target audience. Another way to define your target audience is location. Location, where are they based? Where is your target audience based? Are they based in Lagos? Are they based in Abuja? Are they based in Nigeria generally? Are they based in London? Are they based in California? Are they based in Ontario in Canada? Where is your target audience based? Okay. Location is another very important way to target an audience. Another way that is very important to target an audience is interest. What are the kind of things your target audience is interested in? Are they interested in luxury? Are they interested in management development? Are they interested in consulting? If there are people that are in the upper echelon of society, that means they're interested in things that maybe around professional development, or things around luxury, or things around what's it called? Staff training, staff development. Those are some interests that not everybody can have. You can't be for example, you can't be someone that is in a beginner level in your organization and you'll be interested in what's it called? Management consulting. It's difficult, right? Or you'll be interested in staff development, except that's your role in the organization. All right. But it's people that are up there that will be interested in, let's say, leadership development. It's for people that are a bit higher up, right? And that's how you target based on interest. Now, there's some other targeting that I will share with you, but I'll share it with you when we enter into the campaign manager. Like I said, I want to be sure that we enter into that place tonight at least, and then we can continue in the next session. So now we have your page. Let's go to the campaign manager. When you have your page and you want to start advertising, you click on For Business again at the top right corner of your screen. For Business at the top right here, and then you click on Advertise. Give me a second. Let me just, okay. I want to be sure that I'm recording. So you click on For Business, and then you click on Advertise. Now, when you click on Advertise, okay, it shows you what is called an account list. Now, some of these accounts, like I have like a caveat over them. So most likely, the recordings for this session would be, to an extent, it would be very much limited to some certain places, right? Because of some of the accounts that are in this particular profile that I own. Some of them are quite sensitive. Now, but this is the first thing you see. You would see detailed account. Is that an account is simply what is called an advertising account. So that's the first thing. If you're just starting up, you won't see anything here. For example, some of these things here are quite, there are accounts that are owned by like other people. So this is, for example, the African Ministers Council on Water is a Pan-African organization that's at a point I was the marketing manager for. Now, if you don't have anything on this list, what do? You click on Create. All right. You click on Create and you would see accounts here. So you click on Create Accounts, and this is what I want to show you, so you can ignore the other things you've seen so far. So you click on Create Accounts and you give yourself an account name. What is your account name? So you can give it something. So I'll just, for example, just for the sake of teaching, I'm going to put Stevens ad account. You can put your company account name here, but what you're doing is you're creating an advertising account. You have a LinkedIn account, you have a company page, but you also need an advertising account. Okay, so you'll put in the name of the account. Just make sure it's a name that you can recognize and remember. Then in terms of currency, unfortunately, at the moment, there is no Naira as a currency on LinkedIn. At the moment, you cannot pay for your LinkedIn ads in Naira. This is important to note because payment is always one of the things that people have as issues on LinkedIn, right? And I'll definitely show you how to go about that. But payment is one of the things that people have as an issue on LinkedIn. I would always recommend that, except you have a card that is domiciled in any of these other countries, UAE, Argentina, Canada, UK, any of these other countries, except you have that already, I would always recommend you select US dollars. So United States of America, USD. I would always recommend you select this as your currency, USD. Now, this is another thing you would need. You would need to be able to associate your page. Can you see why we created a page in the first place now? Because although this is optional for a start, right, you can create it without a page, but for you to run your ads really well and very successfully, you would need to associate your ad accounts to at least one page. Okay, you need to associate your ad account with at least one page. So what do we do now? We'll then go and search. So I'll just click on fee. Right, click on fee. Can you see that it begins to search out? Okay, that page. What was the name of the page we created? Was it my name? Yeah, it was my name. This is it. So the page we created is what? Fee Steven. So I'm going to click on that page and be able to associate it. Now, if you don't have admin rights to a page, you cannot associate it to an ad account. Before you can associate a page to an ad account, you must be an admin of that page. You must have admin level access to that page. That is the only way, okay, that you can associate that page, all right? You can associate a page to, what's it called? To an ad account. So we have associated the page that we just created, Fee Steven, to the ad account. And what do we do next? You click on Save. You click on Save. Now, if you have more than one page, all right, that you have access to, you can still add other pages later. We're not yet there, all right, but you can definitely add other pages later as time goes on. But this is what your ad account looks like. And this is where I wanted us to be sure that we get to today. So this is what your ad account looks like. This is the inside of your ad account. All right, and I'll do a walkthrough through this ad account. And then, we're done for tonight. We have just about 8 minutes left. So I'll do a walk through this ad account just to give you an understanding of some of the first things you need to do when you come here. Now, your ad account has 3 major levels. When you're creating a campaign on LinkedIn, there are 3 major levels of that campaign. The first level is called the campaign group. I'll explain what it means. The first level is called the campaign group. The second level is called the campaign itself, which I'm hovering over at the moment at the top there. The campaign, and then the third level is called the ads. So there are 3 levels for every campaign you want to create here. First, the level of the campaign group. The second is the level of the campaigns. And the third is the level of the ads. So let's assume that you have a particular property you want to sell, right? You can create a campaign group for that property. Inside of that campaign group, you can have different campaigns. And by different campaigns, I mean, you can have one campaign that is targeting one set of people. You can have another campaign that is targeting another set of people. You can have another campaign that is focused on video creatives, a campaign that is focused on image creatives, a campaign that is focused on messages. You can have different campaigns, but all those campaigns are under the same campaign group. All right. For those of you that maybe have an idea of advertising on LinkedIn, on Facebook, campaign group is kind of similar to the campaign level, okay, in Facebook Ads Manager. While campaigns is similar to the ad set level, kind of, right? But not exactly. There are some differences, and I'll show you some of them. Right. So this is what campaign groups mean. Campaign group is like the overarching, the main thing at the top, right, that allows you to create a campaign. Every campaign group is focused on one thing. Every campaign group is focused on one thing, right? So you're trying to make sure that all the campaigns that relate to a particular, maybe a property, maybe a course, maybe a webinar, maybe an event, they are under one campaign group, right? While campaigns, which is the next level, let me just click on campaigns to take you there. Campaigns is the level where you set some certain things. You can create a new campaign here, right? You set some certain things that are related to your campaign group. And then the last point is the ads, which is where you set the creative. That's the picture, the video, the text, the things that people would see. You set it at what? At the ad level. So you have the campaign group level, you have the campaigns level, and then you have the ad level. Now, one of the first things you will need to do when you have a new LinkedIn ad account, one of the first things that you need to do would be to set up your payments, your billing. Okay, because if you want to run ads and your billing is not set up, it's possible that sometimes they will allow your ad to start, but after it has run for just a very short time, it will actually stop running. Most times they will not even allow it to start at all. If you notice, by the top left corner of your screen, you will see on hold, payment method required. So this is the default state. So almost 99% of the time, your account will be on hold until you add a payment method. And it is in adding the payment method that will be coming to an end for this session. How do you add a payment method? By the left side of your screen, you'll see a place that says account settings. Account settings. So you click on account settings. When you click on account settings, what happens is that you would see a place that says billing center. Billing center. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on billing center. And when you click on billing center, you'll see an option for you to do what? To add a credit card. Now, this takes me to the point of payments. Now, for payments on LinkedIn, most Nigerian cards will not work. This is just the truth. Like I'm still running ads even till today. So if you notice from what I showed you, you see that some campaigns are even still active. Some of the accounts I manage are still active at the moment. So there are some campaigns I'm running even as we speak. And I know that, Nigerian cards do not work. I've tried cards from different banks, and a lot of these cards do not work for LinkedIn ads. But that is not to disappoint you. There's actually a solution that I have seen that works that I currently use, and there is a platform called Cheaper Cash. Now, this is not an advertisement per se, but it's something that is working for me at this time. So let me just make this disclaimer. So today is January 11, 2024. So that January 11, 2024, because some people may watch this replay like, months later, maybe 1 year later. If you're watching this replay later, I do not know what will be working at that time or what will not be working, or if Cheaper Cash will still be in existence or if anything will happen. But disclaimer, as of January 11th, 2024, a card that I am sure is working on LinkedIn is what is called the Cheaper Cash virtual card. And how can you get the Cheaper Cash virtual card? You can go ahead and download their app. Downloading the app is free. You can download their app, you can create an account, and you can go ahead and create a virtual card. So the caveat there is that you fund the card with Naira, and then you can buy dollars. You can buy, dollars into your dollar card using the app. So it's a mobile application that you can get either on your Android or on your iPhone. And when you have your cheaper cash details, card details, you can come here and click on add credit card. So cheaper cash will give you an address to use. They'll give you literally all the options, what's it called? All the fields you need to do here. And then you can go ahead and add your credit card. Now, this is where we'll be ending for today. This is LinkedIn advertising part 1. I hope you have gotten value and you've learned something new from all the things I've shared so far. I know we've not started running the ads yet, but these are the foundations. If you don't do some of the things I've shared so far, you can't run your ad. You can't run a successful ad. So these things are the things that give you that foundation for you to be able to begin to run ads. Someone is asking, would a prepaid dollar card work? Yes, a prepaid dollar card should work, right? If you have a prepaid dollar card, yes, it should work. But you can always test it, but I really believe it would work. I think I know some people that are using that. Also, someone is asking, can one run ad on a new page? Yes, if you just create a page, yes, you can use that page to run ads. You don't need to. I would personally recommend that you put some content first. I'll recommend that after you create a page, even if it's just to put in like 4 or 5 content at the same time, I'll recommend you put some content first, because sometimes when you run ads, some people will click on the person that's running the ad and try to see, who's this person? Have you done something before? Or just to have an understanding. Put yourself in the shoe of the customer. If you see an ad, what will you do? Especially an ad that requires you to give someone money, like maybe an ad that concerns buying a property. So what will you do first? Won't you try to check who is running the ad just to have some sort of confidence that, okay, this person is not a scammer? So that's the same thing they would do too. So it's best that if you create a new page, just put in some content here and there just to get the page active, right? And then go ahead and run an ad with that. But yes, the answer is yes, you can run an ad with a new page. Okay, so we have finally come to the end of this session, LinkedIn Advertising 1. I want to believe that you got value from the session. Once again, this session is hosted by the team at iStone Development and Investment Limited. They are the sponsors of this session. These sessions are not free, to be fair. They are all paid sessions. You're getting it for free, but every session that you're having is a paid session, and it is fully sponsored by iStone Development and Investment Limited. So Blessing says I got value. I'm glad you got value. Blessing, I hope every other person did too. Thank you so much for having me. You'll be communicated with the next time we're having a session. All right. So Faith says, thank you, iStone and Mr. Fee Steven. It's good to have you here, Faith. Joy says, thank you, Fee Steven. It's good to have you here, Joy. I look forward to seeing every one of you in the next session as we go a bit deeper into advertising on LinkedIn. Do enjoy the rest of your night.